I'll take you through all the steps you need to follow for you to be able to start editing with Shotcut. By the way, Shotcut is a free software that helps you to edit your videos. So you want to start editing in Shotcut and you are wondering, how do you add your video file? Now, it is simple. So the first thing you need to do once you open Shotcut, you will be met with such an interface. So before you upload your video, first you'll need to give your project a name. You have to give your project a name. By default, this is the screen that you will meet. So maybe you want to say your project is you just give it a name, my video recording. Say you want to give that name to your project, and then once you have given it a title, you will simply press on start. So when you get to start and you have an interface that can't clearly give you an opportunity to upload, you need to come here and click on playlist. So the playlist now gives you a playlist where you can add your video. The simplest way to add your video clip in this playlist is to simply go into your folder where you have the video, and then just take the video and then drag and drop it into your Shotcut tool, so into your Shotcut app. So you, for instance, I want to add this video, I can simply just drag and drop it here. And maybe you want to upload more than one video, you can add as many as you can. Maybe I want to add another one, maybe I want to add this, I can as well put it in, I can as well add it in. So as you can see, our videos are added and we can now start editing them. But there is a problem. We don't have a video on our timeline. Now you have your videos ready to start editing, but how do you begin the editing functionality? So for us to be able to do that, we need to add our videos into the timeline. So this is our timeline. This is our timeline. So for us to be able to add these videos into the timeline, you can simply drag and drop these videos into the timeline. So you can simply do this and just drop your video, and you can see the video is added into the timeline. From here, we can now start playing. When you start playing, you can see
You
the
have an
video is
image, and
playing,
this
and we
image
can now
is too
start
big.
editing from here. You can start editing from here, and you can make all the necessary adjustments from here. There are cases where you don't have the timeline. For instance, let me do this. Now, in this case, you want to edit your video, but as you can see, the timeline is missing. So if you meet such a blank interface, what you simply need to do is to go here and look for the feature called timeline. So if you press on timeline, now you can see the timeline has appeared. When now we have the timeline, that's when now we can begin our editing. We can now drop our videos into the timeline. To be able to add your video into the timeline, what you simply need to do is to drag and drop the video into the timeline, and it will be automatically be added. You can add as many as you can. If you want to add another one, you can simply drag and drop it here, it will be added. As simple as that. That's how we add videos into our timeline. So you have added your video into the timeline and you are ready to start editing. There are a number of functionalities that you may want to use. For instance, you want to know how to cut, how to delete, how to paste. So for you to be able to perform such tasks, such functions, you simply need to click on the video, the place where you want to cut. For instance, you want to cut this video at this point. For you to be able to cut this video, you simply put the cursor where you want to be cut, and then you come on this split at playhead tool and click on it. When you click on it, it will cut at the very part you wanted. If you want to delete this, you can simply press delete and it will be deleted. But now there is a problem. It has deleted, but it has left a blank space from here to here. So for you to remove this space, there are two ways you can do it. If you had already deleted and there is still blank space, you can still click inside your timeline and press remove. To press remove, it will now take the edge of your video where it begins, where the clips begins, to be the starting point. That is how you can delete in your timeline. But another way that you can delete part of the clip, maybe say we want to delete this part. One way we can delete this part is to simply press Ctrl and X. So when you press Ctrl and X, it will delete it and move the next clip in line just next to the previous one. By doing this, we will not have blank spaces in between. That is how we delete in Shotcut. Now you have your project added in Shotcut and you want to mute just one part of the clip. How do you do that? We want just to mute a part of the clip. So if I select this part and cut it and try to mute this, we have here a volume button, a mute button. However, there is a problem. If I try to mute from here, it will mute all the track. Now you will realize that the whole of the track has no sound. As you can see, there is no sound. Now what I wanted was only to mute this. So how do we only mute this part? First, let's unmute the whole track. There are two ways we can mute this part of the clip. One is to add another video track, is to add another video track here. Add a video track and put it in its own track line. We put it in its own timeline. We have now two timelines. We can have now two tracks. So from here, I can over 1.1. I can now be able to mute this by simply selecting, highlighting it, and then press mute. However, the problem with this is it will mute all the very big file video tracks that are on this playlist. That is the disadvantage of it. That if I add any other track here, maybe say this, I have this and I add it here. As you can see, it has also been muted. So everything that will be in this track, it will be muted. Every video track that will be on this track, it will be muted. So browser, we have not achieved that functionality. So the best way to do it, let me go back, let me undo. So for us to be able to mute only this part of the track, we simply highlight it. As you can see, we have highlighted it. And then after highlighting it, we go to filters. Go to filters and then press on this add button. And from here, and press on mute. The video track will be muted at this part. So let's test. That is a very big file. I can't size. So as you can see, only this portion has been muted and our track is okay. You can mute as many parts as you can. Share each and every part you want to mute. You can simply do so. You can simply mute by repeating the same process. So you have completed editing your file. If you have completed editing your file, how do you download it? Now, the simple way to do it is to use the export feature. So say we have completed this and now we want to export it. So you simply come here at export, and then you can choose the format that best fits you. You can customize such that you want to have a standard format of a video. Maybe you want the frame rate, the quality, and all that. But it's not a must you do that. For instance, if you want to get a video quality that is a 1080 and in 30 frames per second, or depending on the size that you watch the video was shot at, you will simply use the default function. It will give you the quality you uploaded your video. If you want to upload it on the YouTube, you can simply choose the YouTube. It will give you the specifics for YouTube, which is an MP4 that is still, it will give you a high quality video with the frame rate that the video came with. And this is a standard video that will be most effective for video posting. So you simply come and choose YouTube, or you can as well just choose the default, and you will be able to download your video. So once you have chosen your format through these presets, you simply come here and press on export file. So when you export file, you choose where you want your file to be exported, to be saved on your desktop. So you choose if you have your file ready and you have a folder, the specific folder, maybe on your desktop, you simply come here on desktop and select that specific folder. So for instance, if I want to save this video in my video file, in my video folder, I'll simply choose this, and then I can either leave the name as it is or change it and press on save. By doing that, you'll be able to export your video onto your desktop and then publish it or use it wherever you want. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye bye.